Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Weeknights, and it's going to be a wild pod today. So put your seatbelts on, buckle up. We got a wild show for you today. Who are we? I'm JD, aka He Who Pods.
I'm Dash, aka Dashing D. What's up, everybody?
A lot is up.
Okay.
Where would you like to begin, my
Where would I?
my esteemed co-host?
Where would I like to begin? Let's talk about sinners.
Okay, so Ryan Coogler has hooked back up with Michael B. Jordan. And they have a new film coming out in March, I believe, and it's called Sinners.
Yeah.
And the trailer's out, and we saw it.
Yeah. What did you think?
I don't like it. I have mixed feelings because I
Mhm.
trust Ryan Coogler as a director. And
Agree.
Michael B. Jordan don't really miss.
The
And
two of them
and
together.
that's where I was going
Oh,
next. The two of them together, they hit home runs out the park every time. But this trailer here, it didn't pass the smell test, as my good friend Dre would say. It didn't look amazing. It didn't look spectacular. It didn't look great. It looked like, all right, so you're gonna just show us the muscles and the guns and say some
oh,
stuff.
they showed us the guns.
All right, I guess, like, all right.
I mean, Michael B. Jordan looks like he's been, back in the
He looks
gym.
great. No, listen, he looks spectacular. And I have no bad things to say about his physique. But his accent in the trailer, I don't know. I'm not really convinced by the accent or the trailer. Like,
Okay. I think that's reasonable. I think it's okay to have some reservations about a trailer. Um,
and then like, all right, yeah, y'all
yeah.
fighting the boogeyman, Dracula, somebody, but y'all gonna show us you shooting at the camera? Like, all trailer, we don't get to see anything that's coming in this movie. It's just you busting shots, with the big guns at the camera. Like,
I'm gonna be real honest with you, and this is probably not what you're gonna expect, but I get deterred by seeing Black people in certain time periods, especially time periods outside of the one that we're in right now
okay,
in movies.
all right. I mean,
Because
it could be right now.
it could it could be right now, but it isn't by the way they're dressed,
Okay,
by
you're
the
right.
fact that you don't really see any other white, that you don't see anybody else but them.
Okay, fair.
I think it's alluding to a certain period of time, and maybe a certain way of life.
Okay, I see where you're going.
I don't like that. I don't think that it can't happen and it can't exist. It's just that, wow, I just feel like we are constantly like reliving our traumas and reliving our unfortunate history, and I just don't care to see that in film as much now because I feel like it's been so saturated, and a lot of times those are the films that win awards too. I don't know, that kind of turned me off a little bit. Um just cuz I don't know, cuz I just feel like it's going to be some bullshit. Like either way we're going to be losing, whether whether we being chased by the demon or just chased by life. Like I just feel like these people are probably already living in a fucked up time, and I can't.
So you think they
I'm not
fighting the ghost of Massa?
probably probably. I bet you it's a big old white man.
Well,
I'm
there you
kidding.
are. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. Hold on. No, no. That's now you see, I'm just about to open my mouth and give you props and say, here you are to take us to the next level. But then you try to cop out with some, just kidding. No, no. Own that shit. You're not kidding. Think you're gonna try to take us to the next level and say, actually, no, let's go back down a step. I'm not quite ready for the big leagues.
I'm never gonna sign this.
Fucking say it. That's it.
Listen, that's what this feels like. This feels like the reason we can't see the person or thing is because it is the thing we fear the most. White
Wow.
supremacy. And so I could be completely wrong, and I hope I'm wrong. And I hope it's a good film. I hope it's a great film. Like you said, Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan together usually make gold. We don't usually have too much negative to say about them working together. So
Right.
there's that. Also, I mean, listen, shout out to the second main character, you know,
You
Michael
mean
B.
Michael B.
Jordan's
Jordan?
arms.
Oh, I'm about
Um,
to say Michael B. Jordan's twin.
well, also that. I saw that and I was like, did I say that?
Yes, you did.
Watching something and you're like, wait, it's been a
Not
long
only are you
time.
gonna get Michael B. Jordan, but you also gonna get Michael B. Jordan.
Okay, so the third main character, Michael B. Jordan's arms, just they're there and they're acting. Okay.
That's why I said you're just gonna show us
So
arms and guns. All right, I guess.
the biggest of guns. Now, I don't know if that's enough.
That's
It's
what
not
I'm
enough for
saying.
me.
Like,
I'm a girl who
I'm
reads books.
sure this is
So
the
I
first
don't.
trailer. I'm sure there's another trailer coming. Perhaps it will be better.
Yeah,
But yeah, this is just,
right. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Um, I'm always going to give a black man a chance. Well, that's not true.
what
No,
is going on today?
that's not what I meant. No, because y'all would hear that and be like, "Can I holla?" No, that's not what I mean. What I mean is, what I mean is, the two of them are very talented, and I would give it a chance because it's them. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
Got it.
saying. Just out on the strength of supporting the two of them. That's we have so few. We have we have so few left that haven't been, charged with assault. So,
Oh,
um,
okay. I guess that takes us to our next topic.
I'm kidding
Huh.
again,
To the next topic.
but it does take us to the next topic. So speaking of other trailers that have come out, I feel like we should just play trailer load at the beginning of some of these episodes because we be talking about all the
What's trailer
trailers.
load?
Girls, girls everywhere from downtown Canada, and the USA. Girls,
I might
girls.
not know that one.
It's
Sorry.
reggae. It's
I could
90s
tell
reggae.
it's reggae by the way you said it. I'm just saying I don't know if I know that song.
Trillaload, trillaload, trillaload. It's basically about a trillaload of girls. Anyway, so um, Chris Brown. There is a Chris Brown documentary coming out. The ID channel. I don't know if they call it the ID channel anymore. It might just be digital now, but ID.
Hmm.
Um, Same people who did Quiet on Set.
Yep.
There's a Chris Brown documentary. that is going to chronicle, you know, violence that he's either been convicted of or accused of. It seems to have a victim or victims that will be providing commentary on things that have happened to them. The effort is to showcase a pattern of abuse uh, from Chris Brown.
Yep.
I'm a little perplexed by this because, just to back up a little bit, it's coming out on October 27th, and it says, based on the article that I read from People Magazine, it's saying that they are, they're trying to bring light to this history of abuse. Now, I'm perplexed because
Come on.
I don't mean any harm to anyone. I just want to start there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just asking questions and I'm just trying to understand. I'm not sure where this is coming from right now, and I'm always the first one, especially here, to say I don't think time frame is as important as people make it in terms of when victims come forward. Is it relevant? Sure, but it's not. I don't think it determines whether you should or should not, and whether there should be vindication or not. But I'm confused because I feel like it's been quiet in terms of Chris Brown, and
Mm-hmm.
this just seems a little out of nowhere. Um, it just almost, and maybe they were I don't know how long they've been working on this. It takes a bit of time to put together a documentary, but
Go ahead.
we are dealing with all of the Diddy stuff right now, and multiple things can happen at the same time, and multiple things can be true at the same time. I just wonder what made them decide to put this out now. Um, I started to think to myself, maybe something's coming. Maybe there's a lawsuit coming that we don't know about. Maybe this is to encourage lawsuits to happen. Um, I just, if someone feels it's necessary, so if it is necessary and it helps to bring clarity to things that he's done, um, and bring justice to anything that he has done,
Mm-hmm.
then cool. Like I'm not here trying to defend any of his actions. I'm not here trying to um, say that he shouldn't be called to the podium. I guess I was just surprised by it. It wasn't the thing that I expected. Not now, anyway. I feel like there's been so many times where this would have seemed like it made a whole lot of sense to me. But
Mm-hmm.
today, I'm not sure. Like, I'm curious. I'm curious to see what happens and where this goes and how this grows, because something like this will make things grow.
Right. I'm trying to find, as you're talking,
Hmm.
when this began. Yes, there is a new accuser who's stepping forward. They say here in the the Variety article that this doc is going all the way back to his quote troubled childhood, all type of stuff.
Right, because they're going to paint a pattern of abuse. They're going to say that he was living in an abusive household. I mean, there are things that, if they're going that far back, there are things we already know. Um,
Yeah. So here's one thing I think is interesting from this Variety article.
Okay.
It says that this doc will launch ID's third annual No Excuse for Abuse campaign.
Oh, is that what it is? I didn't know
Yeah,
that that existed.
me either. But that's what it says here in this Variety article. It also says what their next project is.
Which is what?
It says Next ID will release a docu-series about Sean Diddy Combs, who was recently charged with, we know the rest of the sentence.
Right. Okay. Okay. Um. Hmm.
It does not say when filming or research begun. It does say that this is centered on the many violent offenses and history, along with this new person. And as it says in the trailer, they have the same quote in the article where the accuser says, I have not spoken about this matter publicly, but that's the only way he can be stopped.
I mean, if it is to be, then it will be done. I can't police
Wait, you said
people
if
on.
what?
I said if it is to be, then it will be done. I what I'm trying to say is I can't. I'm in no position to police people and how they want to share their story. Um, and I just I'm honestly exhausted, and I'm exhausted with the bad behavior. I'm exhausted with the court filings. I'm exhausted with, and this is not disrespect to victims. That's not what I'm not. This is not directed at them at all. I'm just exhausted with having so many men um, who are famous and notable. I'm just exhausted with having these conversations about them. It's a lot.
It is a lot.
Imagine how the people who actually have to deal with this personally and have dealt with certain people and have to how imagine how they feel, but like just to even talk about it and find the right words and like try to find understanding and try to find I don't know. It's just exhausting. It like tenses up my body. But
Yeah, I understand that. I just okay, let me start with Chris Brown. Chris Brown has a history of things that have gone on. We know about his public bad behavior.
mhm,
It's not a secret. I've had debates about it on podcasts before. My opinion is public. It's clear that he does not care about his brand and continues to behave badly throughout his career. Not a secret. Cool. Got it. We know there are accusations and there are um, restraining orders, right? We know like Carucci and all of that stuff. Cool. But I cannot speak for anyone else, so I will speak for myself. With the docs and with ID and what I just read, it's starting to feel a little bit like a witch hunt.
mhm,
This is my personal opinion. I'm not saying anyone else has to feel this way. But to me, it's like, all right, cool. Yeah, did quiet on set. No problem. The third annual No Excuse for Abuse campaign. All right, I get it. Like, that's ID's thing. They had the show with catching a pedophile and all of that. I got it. Cool. But where are all the docs about the other people who lack melanin and have done these things? I mean, we saw Quiet on Set, cool, but that's not the only group of people who have done these things. How do we get from Quiet on Set to Chris Brown and then Diddy. I'm a little confused. It seems to me like this is a money grab on ID's part, where we know Chris Brown is having a really successful year, and we're going to put out something that says, "Hey, let's rain on his parade a little bit." And yeah, we already had this Diddy doc in the works. Yeah, let's drop that too because it's the perfect time to drop that, right? But like, what are we doing? Is it just a witch hunt? And let me be clear again, just so it's in plain English for the bozos in the comments. I am not saying abuse is okay. I am not defending abusers. If you did the crime, you should do the time. People lacing drinks and hitting people and all of that shit, it's foul. It shouldn't happen. You should go to jail. Probably worse things than that should happen to you, honestly. Not defending any of that. But why the fuck is there a Chris Brown doc out of nowhere? Like, and then Diddy's next. But where's all your other docs? Where's all the other people? Like, do y'all have a Weinstein doc I didn't hear about? Do y'all have a Kevin Spacey doc I didn't hear about? Like, where's all the other docs of all the people who have abused power and hit people and all these things? Because
When
if
you're
this is quote
specifically,
unquote, go ahead.
are you speaking about ID specifically
Yeah.
or just in general?
I mean, I'm speaking about ID. We know that HBO Max did the, or whatever they're called now. We know HBO did the Kevin Spacey one. We covered it, but I'm saying ID, no excuse for abuse, third annual campaign. Well, where's all the other people at then? Why did it go from Quiet on Set to Chris Brown and then Diddy? Like, what the fuck is that? What's after Diddy? Bill Cosby? Like, come on, fam. Like, I want to know at what point is this, like, I don't really even have the words. I just feel like this is left field and
Mhm.
okay, cool. There's a new accuser. Cool, no problem. But isn't there a court system for that?
Well, they're not. They're outside of that piece of it. I guess that's a question for victims. That's not because ID is just going to
Yeah, they're gonna put anybody in front of a camera who says they want to
who
speak,
says they
especially if
won't
there's
will
some
do it. Yeah.
accusations.
So it's
Yeah, I
not.
got it.
I don't think that's
Like, I'm not even the biggest Chris Brown fan. I just feel like, yo, what are we doing? Like, this is
I mean,
just witch hunting at this point? Because, I mean, like, when was the
I
last Chris Brown accusation besides this new person? Hasn't it been years?
no,
All right.
it hasn't been that long.
All right.
Um, it hasn't been that long.
I just feel like why are we specifically targeting Chris Brown ID? And where's all your other docs? Like, help me out.
I was trying to see what else they've done, but I can't find that. According to People magazine, though, as recently as July of this year, Brown and his entourage were accused of beating four men backstage after a show in Fort Worth, Texas. The unprovoked violence included multiple strikes to the plaintiffs' heads and chests and ultimately involved stomping them while they were down. Um, so that's the most recent.
But that's not the kind of stuff that this doc is about.
No, this doc is calling it a history of violence. It's not. It's not. It's not specifying.
The trailer shows stuff with women
Well, the
specifically.
trailer is gonna
And they
show
make
stuff
sure
because because listen, no matter what we watch, the thing that they're gonna show Michael B. Jordan's arms. They're gonna show the most salacious thing in a documentary. That we know that we know that a lot of times you see a trailer and then you watch something and that's only a small fraction of what the content really is.
okay,
You know what I mean? Like
I hear
I
you,
feel
but the
like
trailer for this makes it very clear and that Variety article that this is about Chris Brown and women.
okay.
If I'm wrong and ID has done more of these on other people, please let me know in the comments. If I'm wrong and the doc says otherwise, I'm not watching the shit. So please feel free to let us know in the comments. I'm I'm not watching this shit, and I just feel like, yo, at what point do we leave dude alone? Like,
I hear you. Um, I hear you. I'm yeah, I hear you. I think for me, I'm less concerned about leaving him alone. I feel like if he's doing the things he's being accused of, then it is what it is. But I
well, then
just
he should be tried and he should be convicted and he should do time. I'm not disputing that.
right. I don't think you are. I'm just saying I also think we know how the wheel turns. So if like, we watch documentaries all the time about things that are uncomfortable or about people that did things that are heinous and ridiculous.
Attack of the Flies?
I think so. It felt like it went in my nose.
See?
Um,
Now the sinners are coming for you.
I know. Is it a white one? Anyway, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. That one I was really kidding. Um, but yeah, so I don't think I have the capacity. I don't think I have the bandwidth to try to defend him on some. I don't think that anyone should, you know, I don't think that anyone should discuss it or talk, or, I also think that I just feel like this is the beginning of something. Um, and maybe beginning is not the right word because we've known about a lot of this stuff before that incident that I just talked about. There's as recent as 2019 there was an incident. So I don't know. Like I don't know what to do with it.
2019 is also 5 years ago, though.
I understand that.
Anyway, we can move on.
I just I don't think it's personally, I don't think it's right, and I've said this before. I don't think it's right to say that somebody got assaulted in 2019 and can't talk about it in 2024. I don't
I'm
feel
not
that way.
I'm not talking about the accuser. I'm talking about ID.
Okay. I don't know
The
why ID is
the
doing this, but I watch documentaries all the time where the documentaries come out years later after things have happened. So I think this is I think this is just like that. Until I know more and until I understand more about what's coming or like what it is they're trying to do here, then I just feel like I would be a hypocrite to complain about this doc compared to what all of the other documentaries that I watch that are about people who did some foul shit, whether it was 20 years ago or 2 years ago or whatever. I I don't know, but I get it. I get where you're coming from on it, and I understand that right now we are in a weird space where people are being accused of things left and right, and this one did seem out of nowhere, and that's what I said at the beginning of our conversation. So I don't know.
Well, speaking of out of nowhere, J. Cole said he's the greatest of all time off of features alone. You got an article or you got what? What you got for us?
I don't have an article, but he said it, and we know he said it. Um,
Well, but what does your article say? Maybe they
I don't have an
support or
article.
oh, you don't have an article. Hold on.
No.
I think you said you do have an article. I'm sorry.
No, I didn't think we needed an article for this.
Well, Cole
he
said
said it.
it,
He says
but
it in the song.
yeah,
Well, what
but
is
we.
I'm
I
what
guess.
is
So what you think? Go ahead, hit him.
I don't think you get to say that about yourself.
What, that you're the GOAT? All of them call themselves the GOAT. Is that not the big three thing?
I but
Come on, talk about it.
I just don't think you get to goat yourself like that. I really don't.
Okay.
I think it's fine to talk your shit, but I also don't think that you get to make that decision.
Hmm.
So you could say it. You could feel it in your bones. You could tell everybody about it. You could talk about it in an interview. You could say it on a song. But I don't think it's real until you're knighted by not only the greats but also the fans.
I mean, is that not already happening?
Is that the thing? Is it does listen, I say all the time, like I don't I don't listen to them as heavy as most people do. I'm more I'm honest with everybody about the fact that I love hip hop, but I don't know every single J. Cole song or every single J. Cole feature. Like I've never claimed to be that.
Mm.
But is that what you tell me? Like is that what people think? Is that the consensus?
That J. Cole is the GOAT?
Because of features, off of features alone. Isn't that what this is about?
That's what he said. The GOAT just from features. I think it is a witty thing to say. I think it is a great talking point, especially because I assume that this was done after he apologized for dissing Kendrick.
Mm-hmm.
I assume this is after the Drake and Kendrick beef. And so, yes, this is a good way to get me back in the conversation of who's the greatest. Um, I don't think features make you the greatest. Um, the problem with a statement like this is greatest of all time is subjective. And
No,
so,
you don't get that off of features.
oh yeah, I agree. I don't think,
Hmm.
I mean, you could say who's the best feature artist. Like, I think Scarface is one of the best people to ever do features in rap history. I don't think that's a hard thing to figure out. I think it's pretty clear that when Scarface does features, which he's done a ton of them from Pac to
Mm-hmm.
Jay-Z to everyone in between. I think it's clear that when Scarface does a feature, you're getting a very specific type of Scarface and he's going to hit it out the park. People say this generation, it's Andre 3000. All the work he's done with features, especially since quote unquote retiring from rap. People say if you got an Andre 3000 feature, it's spectacular. Um,
But that
and so,
is but and people also say that Andre 3000 is a goat. But I don't think people think that Andre 3000 is a goat simply off of the features. I think it's all encompassing, you
oh yeah,
know?
I agree.
No, I know you agree. I'm just saying, like, I'm making the point not necessarily to you, but to J. Cole, where it's like, one, I don't think that you get to, I don't think you get to to tell us that you are. And then the other
I
thing
mean, the
is,
term only exists because LL Cool J did that,
sure, but
which I
I'm
don't
just
think
saying
the kids know, but GOAT comes from LL Cool
from
J.
LL, yeah, yeah, that I know,
Yeah,
but
but he deemed himself the GOAT.
sure, but
So,
Goat has
go
it's
ahead.
evolved. I just feel like it's evolved.
I
I
think
feel
it's
like it's
devolved.
I think that's actually a better way to say it. I think it's devolved, and the fact that it has it doesn't, because the fact that a rapper, a hip hop artist would 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 say what J. Cole said, and that be like, I don't think it's a flex. Sorry. I think that's where I'm at with it. I don't think it's a flex. I think that to be goated is to be all of those things. I think that's why LL be sitting up there laughing
At the kids.
at the kids. About like when LL was talking his shit, he wasn't just saying he was a great feature artist. And honestly, this feels very much like J. Cole selling himself short. If I could be honest,
Oh no, I
like,
don't think that's what this is.
I think he's trying to talk his shit, but I think he sold himself short indirectly. Like, he didn't mean to, but to me it's like, okay, that's great, but to your point, there's plenty more people who could kill features and have killed every feature or almost every feature they've been on. Like, okay,
I think
but
what he's
like, that's
saying,
not the thing that makes you a goat.
no, and that's why I say he's not looking at it the way you are. Cole is saying, I'm the greatest, even if you only count my features.
I get what he's saying.
Yeah, so he's not doing what you said. He is super bragging, if I don't know what better term to use, but he is ridiculously bragging about his skill level. I just think it's a silly thing to say, and I think what this really is a reach to get yourself back in the conversation after you made an ass of yourself and apologized. Now, sure, hindsight is 2020. If we look back and see what Kendrick did during the battle, perhaps it is better that Cole bowed out and got out of Dodge. But you kind of made yourself look silly, and that goat shit. A lot of people, including myself, feel like we don't want to hear that no more. You removed yourself from the conversation, and so a lot of the tough talk or the big braggadocio shit, you kind of messed yourself up. You shot yourself in the foot. And so I think this is just a way of getting back in the conversation of saying, hey, don't forget about my resume. I think that's what this is. And I don't think it works. I think it's a reach. And let me be clear for the people who may just have stumbled upon this video upon YouTube and have never seen me talk about J. Cole before. I love J. Cole. I'm a huge J. Cole fan. I probably know every J. Cole record that exists. I love J. Cole, but the facts are the facts. He did what he did. He publicly apologized. And so, yeah, you can't walk around saying all the super fly things about being number one and being better than everyone when you kind of had the opportunity to prove that and you tucked it in and ran away.
Yeah. Okay.
Is J. Cole amazing on features? Absolutely. I mean, since like, I think the first feature we really like started this run on was him on Royce 5 9's project a couple years back. It's been years of just great feature after great feature after great feature. But I don't want to hear GOAT talk from J. Cole anymore. I don't want to hear the best out talk from J. Cole anymore. And I think let the work speak for itself at this point. It's great work. You always do amazing, spectacular work. But let the work speak for itself maybe for a little while.
And let me be clear. I like J. Cole. I may not be I may not be a J. Cole connoisseur. I may not be able to recite every, recite all of his quotable lyrics or anything like that. And I'm not, because I feel like you spoke to the people in the comments, but I feel like sometimes the people in the comments try to check me for what I don't know. I am clear on what I don't know, and I'm not trying to disrespect him as a rapper, as a hip hop artist. I don't think of him as the bottom of the barrel by any means. I feel like I know more recent J. Cole than I know J. Cole's beginnings, and
Okay.
I think that's where it diverts for me and people who have been fans of him since the very beginning. But I think it's okay to say like, nah, I wish that. Listen, I get it, I understand, and I did look it up too. I know LL Cool J, and I know Goat, and obviously I I know a lot about LL Cool J. I probably know more of LL Cool J's music than I do
I would
J.
think so.
Cole's.
Yeah, I would think so.
So yes, and LL Cool J got, while he created the acronym. What is wrong with me? The acronym
You just think about Tyler Perry movies.
acrimony. While he created the acronym, he got it from Muhammad Ali, who was
Okay,
speaking
yes,
about
that's true.
himself as
Yes,
the greatest of all time.
right.
And I just feel like my point here was the greatest of all time is all encompassing. You don't
I
get to
agree.
take a piece of the thing and call yourself a goat. That's all I'm trying to say.
Right.
I don't think, and I do think that the term has changed. So
Yeah.
I don't know if J. Cole, I don't know that I feel like J. Cole gets to come to us and say, I'm the GOAT, especially after you said what you said. You, after you said what you said about him taking himself out of the game. And
Yeah.
he did. And then you can't turn around and say, hey, I deserve a championship ring.
When you bowed out the game,
When you bowed out the game, you walked off the court.
I'm
You
gonna
don't
take
get
my
to do
ball and
that.
go.
Rest in peace to Kevin Mutombo. You don't get to do that. You don't get to walk off the court. That's not how it works. That's not how the game works. And don't tell me no shit. I know basketball. I do. You don't get to do that. You don't get to just throw in the towel and then come back and tell everybody you're the best. That's not how that works. Because the best doesn't quit.
Except that one guy with the 23 that then changed to the 45 and then went back to the 23.
But he got his rings, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
That's my point. Like you didn't even give us an opportunity to give you your flowers. You didn't even give us the like you could have stayed in the game and we would have been talking about we would have been talking about how you are the GOAT.
All right.
And when you came on the track now in October 2024, we all would have been like, man, he said it. He talked this shit. Cause you know what? I hate to do it, but the reason why Kendrick is riding high is because Kendrick talked his shit and then continued to talk his shit and then continued to play his shit. And y'all loved it. Y'all ate it up. Y'all thought it was great.
It was great.
It was great. He's doing the Super Bowl next year.
It was great.
It is what it is.
I think today the GOAT thing just means great. I think they forget about the of all time part. I think GOAT today is greatest of right now.
And I don't like that.
Um,
I don't like that. That's why I don't agree with
and I
it.
think like
Like genius.
people say, I think it means legend. I think it means icon today because I've even heard people say, "Oh, Robert Downey Jr. has been goated," and I'm like,
By who?
it's just he did a great job playing Iron Man. I totally agree, but you don't get to be the greatest of all time just because you were Iron Man. Um,
Honestly, what did LL think?
so
Because LL is the person I'm looking for to answer this question.
he said greatest of all time.
No, I'm just saying, what does LL think? If LL thinks it's true, I'm with it. If
Oh,
LL
about
comes
Cole
out
and
and
them.
says J. Cole is the
Go,
greatest,
LL thinks he's the greatest of all time.
right? And I also think
Still,
LL would. I think LL would laugh at this. To be honest, I don't.
he already has. He's
I'm
done press
sure he
about it.
thinks that J. Cole is fine, right? But I'm sure I also think that he would laugh at this because he would be like, y'all just. I think he would see it as a shortcut, but that's it. That's just me.
Well,
That's
you
just
know, I'm
me.
not
I
gonna
know
look it
that's
up
not the way
actually,
he meant it,
but
but
can leave it to the people to do so.
oh yeah, they're gonna have fun with this one when this gets clipped up.
I don't care, whatever, man.
Yeah, we'll chat about it. That's what we're
Right.
here for.
That is what we're
So
here for.
leave a comment and tell us if you think that J. Cole is a GOAT off of
But see,
features.
a GOAT is also my problem.
Yep.
There
Yep.
is
Because
no a greatest of all time.
but
There's
that's
only
where
the greatest of all
but
time.
that's what it's devolved to.
And that's my
That is
problem.
precisely what it's devolved to
Yeah,
because
but then you could be a GOAT, and I could be a GOAT, and the ring light could be a GOAT, and this couch could be a GOAT, and
I
your
mean really
plant
is
could
why
be a
everybody's
GOAT,
going to
and
go yoga.
all right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Weeknights. Thank you for joining us. We will be back tomorrow.
I